Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something today. Somebody out there's been hurt. I'm talking real hurt. You gave your heart, your time, your prayers, your loyalty, and they left you for somebody else. Now you sit in there feeling like you ain't enough, like you did something wrong. But I came here today to tell you, they didn't leave you because you were lacking. They left because they were blind to your value. See, sometimes in life, God lets people walk out not to punish you, but to protect you. You ain't lost nothing, baby. You got spared. You just too heartbroken right now to see the blessing in the breakup. Now I know you might be angry. You might be wanting to clap back, post something slick on social media, or even try to prove a point. But listen to me carefully. The best revenge ain't revenge at all. It's results. Today, we gon' talk about how to turn that pain into power. How to turn that heartbreak into hustle. How to walk in silence, rise in excellence, and make 'em regret ever letting a diamond go just to chase glitter. You know, sometimes the best thing that could ever happen to you is somebody walking away. Now I know that don't sound like no blessing when it first happens. It feel like your whole world got flipped upside down. They left just like that. No explanation that made sense, no closure, no apology. And it's not like they left to be alone either. They left you for somebody else. Somebody they chose over you. That kind of pain, it hits deep. It bruises your confidence, shakes your self-worth, and makes you question everything. But here's the truth. When somebody walks out of your life, especially when you were good to them, loving, faithful, honest, real, that ain't your loss. That's their lesson. That's God's protection. That's the universe saying, this one ain't meant to sit at your table. So instead of asking why they left, start asking what their exit made room for. See, when people leave, it ain't always about what you did or didn't do. Some folks are just spiritually out of alignment with your purpose. And when you're being elevated mentally, emotionally, spiritually, some people can't go where you're headed. And trust me when I say, if they could walk away, they were never meant to stay. Now let me break this down. You ever try taking the trash out and the bag rips? Trash spilling everywhere, messing up your day. But guess what? You still gotta take it out, because no matter how much of a mess it makes, you can't move forward until you get rid of what no longer belongs. That's what some people are in your life, just spiritual clutter. And when they leave, the mess they make is temporary. But the peace that follows, that's permanent. You got to start seeing their exit not as rejection, but as redirection. That's God clearing space. You can't get to the new if the old keeps hanging around. It's like trying to wear shoes 2 sizes too small. You look crazy limping around in pain, trying to hold on to something you outgrew. Let him go. Your feet and your spirit deserve better, and I know what some of y'all thinking, but I loved them. I gave them everything. Yeah, you did. But you gave it to the wrong person. The right one would have recognized that love and matched it, not traded it for something shiny and new. So don't lower your value just because somebody else failed to see it. A diamond don't stop being a diamond just because somebody walked past it for a rhinestone. Listen, don't chase nobody. Don't try to prove your worth to someone who already decided to treat you like an option. Your peace is more expensive than their presence. Let them have what they chose. Let them enjoy that decision. And you focus on becoming unreachable emotionally, spiritually, financially. So next time they look for you, They gotta look up. So if they left you for someone else, let that be the last favor they ever do for you, because they didn't break you. They just handed you back to yourself. And now it's time to build, to rise, to shine, because the only thing more powerful than being loved right is learning how to love yourself after somebody tried to make you feel unlovable. You didn't lose them. They lost you. And one day, when your name comes up in conversation, they'll pause. They'll remember, and they'll realize they let go of a blessing they'll never get back. Let me tell you something real quick. The best response to somebody leaving you, especially for somebody else, is not anger. It ain't bitterness. It ain't putting on a fake smile while stalking they Instagram. Nah, the real move, level up, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Now I'm not talking about that fake, I'm doing fine, glow up, that's just for show. I mean a real glow up, a transformation so real, so rooted, that it ain't even about them anymore. It's about you finally recognizing your own worth and rising like you were always meant to. Look, when somebody leaves you for somebody else, it messes with your pride. I get it. That rejection hits like a punch in the chest. You feel like you weren't enough. You start comparing. What do they have that I don't? Were they better looking? Did I mess up? Let me stop you right there. It's not about them being better. It's about you being blinded by love and forgetting your value. So don't waste your time trying to clap back or win the breakup. Don't be out here subtweeting or dropping thirst traps, hoping they see you and regret it. No, no, no. What you do is work. You work on your body. You work on your bag. You work on your peace. You work on your dreams. You build something so strong, so solid, that the version of you they left behind is a stranger to the version you've become. Because here's the thing. They thought they were upgrading when they left, but baby, they were just trading diamonds for glitter. And glitter fades, glitter don't last, but when you glow up from the inside, that shine don't dim. Let your success be so loud that your silence becomes deafening. You don't need to say a word. Just walk in the room dressed in confidence, peace, and purpose. Let your aura do the talking. They'll feel it before they see it. And trust me, they'll see it. I remember when I hit my lowest point broke, heartbroken, and hopeless. Thought I lost it all. Thought I wasn't gonna bounce back. But then I realized, Steve, nobody's coming to save you. You gon' have to save yourself. And that's what I did. Every step I took, every show I did, every dollar I made, I did it with the fuel of that pain. I didn't retaliate. I elevated. See, you gotta learn to flip the script. Turn heartbreak into hustle. Turn, I can't believe they left me, into I'm so glad they did. Turn pain into power. That's the difference between staying bitter and getting better. And let me tell you something else. The version of you that's healing, growing, elevating. That version don't have time to look back. That version is too busy being unstoppable. You wanna watch 'em fall apart, glow up so bright, so beautifully, that they can't even look at your life without squinting. Be the kind of success that makes them question everything, not out of spite, not to prove a point, just because you finally realized you were always the prize. And when that day comes, and it will when they try to circle back, knock on your door, send that "Hey stranger" message, just smile. Don't even entertain it, because the new you don't chase closure. The new you don't need validation. The new you is booked, busy, and blessed, so don't blow up, don't break down, just glow up, quietly, completely. Let them regret it on their own time. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, makes a person fall apart like watching the one they took for granted become everything they could never have again. Sometimes the best clapback is no clapback at all. Silence, oh, silence is a weapon. Silence is the grown folks' response. When you get to a certain level of maturity, you start to realize that not everything deserves your energy, and not everyone deserves your reaction. See, when they left you, yeah, for somebody else, you probably had a whole playlist of things you wanted to say. Wanted to text a paragraph or 5, wanted to post a quote that was just deep enough for them to wonder if it was about them. You were ready to hit send on a whole sermon disguised as a status update. But let me give you the real game: silence. Silence speaks louder than any post, louder than any revenge plan, louder than any emotional outburst you could ever throw at them. Because silence says, you ain't even worth a response. And that'll mess with them more than anything. They expect you to break down. They expect you to throw a fit. They expect drama. They expect that I miss you message at 2 a.m. And when it don't come, when all they hear is nothing, few, that's when they start thinking. That's when they start wondering if they ever meant anything to you. That's when they check your page and see peace instead of pain, progress instead of pity, growth instead of gossip. Let me break it down for you like this. When you're really healing, really moving on, you ain't got time to entertain foolishness. You too busy working on your future to be digging up your past. You start realizing that silence ain't weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that not everything needs to be addressed, because sometimes the best way to prove a point is not to make one. Let me tell you something I've learned in this life. The loudest people, usually the most broken. The ones putting on a show online, trying to prove how happy they are now. 9 times out of 10, they trying to convince themselves, but you ain't in that business. You in the business of becoming everything you were meant to be without needing an audience to clap for it. I'm talking about walking into your new season without dragging old baggage. I'm talking about leveling up so silently that one day they look up and you're unrecognizable in the best possible way. Ain't no need to shout, ain't no need to explain, ain't no need to beg nobody to see your worth, because the thing is, silence forces people to sit with their decisions. It makes them think, it makes them feel, it leaves space for guilt, for regret, for what if. You don't even have to remind them what they lost. They'll feel it in every success you post, in every smile you wear, in every door God opens for you that they'll never walk through again. That silence, it becomes your shield, it protects your peace, it keeps your energy clean, while they out there trying to prove they moved on. You out here actually moving up. And the difference shows, so when you get the urge to say something, to clap back, to spill your heart out, to remind them who you are, pause. And let your silence do the talking, let your healing speak, let your growth shout so loud that your peace echoes in every room they walk into. Trust me, baby, ain't nothing more haunting than the sound of nothing from the one you thought would always chase you. And when you keep it classy, when you keep it quiet, when you keep it focused, that's when you win. That's when they break. Let me tell you something right now. Pain is a passport. If you use it right, it'll take you places that comfort never could. You sitting there hurt 'cause they left. Good. Now do something with it. Turn that pain into purpose. Let it drive you, not define you. When somebody walks out of your life, especially for someone else, your first instinct might be to prove them wrong. You want to show 'em what they missed out on. But I'm gonna give you something better. Prove yourself right. You hear me? Level up for you, not for them. Start with your mind. I'm talking about feeding it. Read the books. Listen to the podcasts. Go to therapy if you got to. Get your thinking straight. You can't build a new life with the same mindset that was tolerating less than you deserve. You've got to rebuild your belief system brick by brick. You've got to stop saying, "Why did this happen to me?" and start saying, "What can I build from this?" Then get your spirit right. Let me tell you something. Nobody leaves your life without God's permission. If they left, they weren't meant to go where God is taking you. So start getting spiritually aligned. Pray, meditate, fast. Whatever connects you back to your source, do that. Because when you're spiritually grounded, people's opinions don't shake you. Their choices don't break you. You'll walk with your head high even when your heart is healing. Now let's talk about that money. Oh yeah. This ain't petty, it's preparation. There is no greater flex than being financially stable and emotionally unbothered. Stack your coins, fix your credit, launch the business, get the certification, start the side hustle. Don't just glow up emotionally, glow up economically. Let your bank account remind you every day that you don't need anybody who didn't see your worth. Start treating yourself like the person you were trying so hard to be for them. You were bending over backwards, twisting yourself into a version that would keep them interested. But now it's time to become the version of you that you admire. You get in the gym, not because you want revenge, but because you want to live longer, feel stronger, and look in the mirror with pride. This ain't about being flashy. It's about being focused. It's about walking into rooms and not having to say a word, because your aura speaks for you. You carry yourself different when you know your worth. You laugh different. You love different. You stop settling for bare minimums because now you're full all by yourself. See, when you level up in every area, spiritually, mentally, and financially, you become what I call untouchable. That means you don't chase closure. You don't beg for explanations. You don't sit around wondering if they're happy without you. That's none of your business now. Your business is you, your peace, your progress, your purpose. And let me tell you something, when they see that, when they see you not just surviving but thriving, not bitter but blessed, not desperate but divinely elevated, it'll eat them up inside. Not because you tried to get revenge, but because you didn't need to. Your glow-up was powered by peace, not pettiness. And the best part, you won't even care if they notice. Because by then, you'll be too busy living a life so full, so rich in joy, so aligned with who you were always meant to be, that looking back would feel like disrespecting your own future. So, don't stay down, get up and get to work. Build the version of you that makes people say, "Damn, how did I let that go?" Let me ask you a question. What if the greatest comeback of your life didn't even involve them seeing it? See, when somebody walks out on you, especially when they leave you for someone else, the first thing we do is get stuck in a loop. They need to see me win. They need to see what they lost. I want them to feel this pain, but here's the truth. You don't need to be seen by them. You need to see yourself. You've been trying so hard to be visible to somebody who was blind to your value, and now you want to spend your energy making sure they notice your progress. Nah, baby, that's small thinking. That's wasted purpose. Your growth should be too sacred to turn it into a show. Let me give it to you the real way. If your comeback is still about them, you ain't healed yet. If everything you're doing, hitting the gym, stacking money, taking trips, buying new clothes, is really about hoping they see you and regret leaving, then guess what? They still controlling your moves. You gotta shift that energy. The true win is when you start doing things for your peace, not your pride. When you stop trying to be seen and start trying to be centered. When your motivation ain't tied to payback, it's tied to purpose. You see, your purpose ain't about proving people wrong. It's about proving God right. He already told you you were fearfully and wonderfully made. He already whispered that you were built for more, that you were never meant to be a backup plan, a second choice, or a temporary thrill. So why you acting like you need somebody else's regret to validate your greatness? Let me tell you from experience, man. There were times in my life I wanted people who hurt me to feel it. I wanted them to look at my success and wish they'd stayed. But over time, I realized if I keep waiting for them to see me win, I'm keeping them in my story longer than they deserve to be there. So I let go, not just of them, but of the need for them to notice. I let go of the audience. I let go of the scoreboard. And I started building for me, for my kids, for my peace, for the life I knew I was born to live, and that's when everything changed. See, the real glow-up is when you don't even care if they see it. You ain't looking back over your shoulder anymore. You too focused on what's in front of you. And when your focus shifts from revenge to results, life starts blessing you in ways that no ex, no betrayal, no broken past could block. Let them go. Let them live. Let them post. Let them pretend. You don't need closure. You don't need applause. You don't need recognition from the person who couldn't recognize you when it mattered. You need healing. You need elevation. You need to become so aligned with who you truly are that even if they walked in the room today, you wouldn't even flinch. Because the person they left behind ain't here no more. You've evolved quietly, consistently, righteously, and that is the kind of comeback they'll feel without you ever having to lift a finger. Because silence backed by purpose is louder than any scream for attention. So live, baby. Live like they never mattered. Not out of hate, but out of healing. You ain't just bouncing back. You're building something bigger than revenge. You're building a life that don't require anyone's validation but your own. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing more powerful than peace. And when they leave you, especially for somebody else, your biggest temptation is to match the noise. To get loud, get messy, stir the pot. But let me tell you what grown folks do. We choose peace, not for them. For us, see, peace ain't weakness. Don't get that confused. Peace is strength under control. Peace is when you could drag 'em through the mud, but you choose to water your own garden instead. It's when you could light that fire and burn the bridge, but you take a deep breath and walk away like a grown man, like a grown woman, like somebody who finally knows who they are. When you finally learn to protect your peace, that's when the real healing starts. That's when you start sleeping better, thinking clearer, and walking lighter. Because carrying bitterness is heavy, baby. Carrying resentment, it'll wear you down. It'll age you. It'll poison every good thing God is trying to send your way. Let me tell you how I learned this the hard way. I used to hold on to stuff. Somebody do me wrong, I kept score. I held on to that pain like it was cash. Thought being angry gave me power, but what it really gave me was stress, headaches, and heartache. And then one day I realized peace ain't passive. Peace is a decision. Peace is choosing your future over your past. Peace is walking away from drama that don't feed your destiny. It's when you stop trying to make people pay and start letting God handle it. Because trust me, He's a better accountant than you. He knows who owes what. Now don't get it twisted. Choosing peace doesn't mean you forget what happened. It means you no longer allow it to control you. It means you wake up every morning and decide, I'm not giving this hurt any more rent in my head. I'm not giving this betrayal one more drop of my energy. You start being selective with your time, your conversations, your company. Not everybody deserves access to your healed self. Some folks had VIP seats to the most broken version of you, and they abused it, and now they gotta watch from the back row if they get a seat at all. When you protect your peace, you protect your power. You become harder to offend, harder to shake, harder to manipulate. Because you ain't reacting to everything anymore, you respond when it's worth it, and most of the time. It ain't let them talk, let them assume, let them create whatever story helps them sleep at night. You know your truth. You know what you've been through. And if they walked away thinking they upgraded, let them think that. Meanwhile, you just keep on growing, keep on building, keep on smiling, not to prove anything, but because you're actually happy now. And here's the beauty of it, peace is contagious. So listen here, when they leave you for somebody else, don't let it break you. Let it make you. Don't waste your time chasing them or proving them wrong. Instead, prove yourself right. Build your life up so high, so solid, that you don't need their validation to know your worth. Remember, your comeback ain't about them. It's about you. It's about your peace, your growth, your purpose. It's about becoming so unstoppable, so unshakable, that the only thing they'll regret is ever letting you go. Keep your head up, keep your heart strong, and keep your focus on the life you deserve. Because when you do that, when you live your best life unapologetically and peacefully, you won't just watch them fall apart. You'll watch yourself rise, shine, and soar to heights they never even dreamed of. That's the real power. That's the real victory. And that, my friend, is how you win without saying a word.